MP Materials Corp is currently trading at $78.34, experiencing a significant intraday surge of $6.05, which translates to a remarkable 8.37% gain for the day. Now, a move like this on a stock that is famously volatile might seem like just another day at the office for rare earth metals, but what we're witnessing today isn't simply a reaction to commodity spot prices or a general market updraft. This is a direct reflection of a much larger structural shift in how the market perceives strategic assets. The expectation for a company like MP Materials has always been straightforward. It's a bet on the price of Neodymium-Praseodymium, also known as NdPr, the key input for the high-powered magnets that run everything from electric vehicles to guided missiles. Investors watch the Shanghai metals market prices, and they trade MP accordingly. It's seen as a classic commodity play, a dig and ship operation subject to the wild swings of global supply and demand, largely dictated by China. But the reality, the one that is fueling today's substantial buying pressure, is far more complex and arguably more compelling. MP Materials is not just a mine. It's a multi-stage industrial project aimed squarely at breaking a decades-long strategic chokehold. The real story here is about de-risking the entire Western world's advanced technology supply chain, and the market is slowly awakening to the fact that this is less of a commodity stock and more of an infrastructure and national security asset. The buying volume we are seeing today is well above the daily average, suggesting strong institutional conviction behind this move. This isn't just retail traders on platforms like Robinhood chasing momentum. This is the kind of volume that indicates larger funds, perhaps those managed through platforms like Fidelity Wealth Management, or even automated systems like Schwab Intelligent Portfolios, are building or adding to core positions. Why now? The chatter points towards renewed discussions around supply chain security and the critical role of domestic production for sensitive technologies. Every time tensions flare or a new piece of legislation like the CHIPS Act is referenced, capital flows into the few publicly traded companies that represent a tangible solution. MP Materials is arguably at the very top of that list. This is why comparing its daily chart to something like Apple stock or even Nvidia stock can be misleading. While those companies are consumers of the end product, MP Materials is at the very foundation of the value chain. Its performance is less about consumer sentiment and more about industrial and geopolitical strategy. Investors doing their self-investing through an individual brokerage account need to appreciate this distinction. The factors driving a semiconductor firm are fundamentally different from those driving the company that provides the raw materials essential for the machinery that makes those semiconductors. Let's break down the recent market action further. Over the past few weeks, MP has been consolidating after a pullback, finding a floor of technical support. The action suggested a wait-and-see approach from the market. Traders were looking for a catalyst, and today's broad-based strength in domestically focused industrial names combined with specific sector tailwinds seems to have provided it. It's also important to note its relationship with the electric vehicle sector. When a major player like Tesla stock announces new production targets or plans for a next-generation motor that is more magnet-intensive, it sends a ripple effect down to suppliers like MP. While the company has a key supply agreement with General Motors, the market prices it based on the total addressable market, which is expanding at a breathtaking pace. Anyone using SoFi Invest or other investing sites to build a thematic portfolio around electrification has likely encountered MP Materials. The question for them is whether to treat it as a high-beta growth name or a long-term strategic holding. The reality is that it contains elements of both. The execution risk is high, but the potential reward and strategic importance are even higher. The company itself owns and operates the Mountain Pass mine in California, which is the only scaled and operational rare earth mining and processing facility in the entire Western Hemisphere. For decades, China cultivated a near monopoly on the entire rare earth value chain, from mining the ore to processing the oxides, and most critically, fabricating the finished magnets. MP's business plan is a direct assault on that dominance, broken down into three stages. stages. Stage 1, which is currently operational, involves mining the ore and producing a rare earth concentrate. This concentrate, however, still had to be shipped to China for processing, which capped the company's profitability and still left it dependent on its primary competitor. Stage 2, which is the company's current major focus and a huge source of investor attention, is the build-out of on-site facilities at Mountain Pass to separate the concentrate into individual rare earth oxides, including the highly valuable NdPr oxide. Achieving this brings a massive portion of the value chain back to the United States. Stage 3 is the final piece of the puzzle, constructing a magnet manufacturing facility in Texas to take the NdPr oxide and produce the finished neodymium iron boron magnets. This vertical integration from mine to magnet is the ultimate goal. When you buy a share of MP stock on a platform like Interactive Brokers, you're not just buying ownership in a pile of rock, you're funding this ambitious industrial project. This strategic vision is why past performance can be a poor guide to future potential. Looking at revenue from a few years ago only tells the story of Stage 1. The entire investment thesis, the entire justification for its current market valuation, rests on the successful execution of Stages 2 and 3. Recent reports have indicated that the Stage 2 processing facility is nearing mechanical completion and commissioning is underway. Any news confirming that this process is on schedule and on budget is a significant de-risking event and often acts as a powerful catalyst for the stock, which is likely contributing to the confidence we see in the market today. This is the kind of forward-looking analysis that provides genuine investment help, going beyond simple price-to-earnings ratios, which are not particularly useful for a company in this phase of its growth. The online investing community is keenly focused on these operational milestones, as they provide tangible proof that the long-term story is intact. Comment below on whether you believe the U.S. government will provide further substantial support to secure the domestic rare earth supply chain. Looking forward, the path for MP Materials is defined by both immense opportunity and significant risk. The primary catalyst is, without a doubt, the successful ramp-up of the Stage 2 and 3 facilities. If the company can demonstrate consistent, scaled production of separated oxides and then finished magnets, it will fundamentally change its financial profile and its strategic importance. This would likely lead to a significant re-rating of the stock by Wall Street. Another potential catalyst is the signing of more offtake agreements with Western original equipment manufacturers in the automotive and defense sectors who are desperate to diversify their supply chains from China. On the risk side of the ledger, execution remains number one. Industrial projects of this scale are notoriously difficult to execute on time and on budget. Any delays or technical setbacks could severely impact investor confidence. Secondly, there is commodity price risk. While the long-term thesis is about vertical integration, the company's revenue in the near term is still highly sensitive to the price of rare earth oxides. China can and has used its control over supply to influence global prices, which could create periods of volatility for MP's earnings. Investors using platforms with advanced trading tools, like Interactive Brokers trading platform, can monitor these commodity futures to get a sense of potential headwinds or tailwinds. Lastly, there's the long-term threat of competing technologies or the development of other non-Chinese rare earth projects, although MP's current operational scale gives it a substantial head start. This is why a simple, intelligent portfolio might allocate a small strategic position rather than making an oversized bet. The risk-reward profile requires careful consideration within a diversified strategy, which can be built through Fidelity ETFs or Fidelity mutual funds. In summary, the expectation that MP Materials is just a volatile proxy for rare earth prices is an outdated and incomplete picture. The reality is that this is a long-duration strategic asset in the making, a company at the intersection of industrial policy, national security, and the global transition to electrification. The 8.37% surge we're seeing today is the market pricing in a greater probability of success for its vertical integration strategy and recognizing demonstrating its unique position as the only scaled domestic player. While the investment carries clear risks related to project execution and commodity fluctuations, the potential for it to become the cornerstone of a new independent Western supply chain for critical materials is what truly underpins its value. The story is not about the dirt they dig up today, but about the magnets they plan to build tomorrow. Understanding this distinction is the key to making an informed decision, whether you're using a sophisticated Fidelity trading platform or making your first online investment through the Robinhood app. Disclaimer: this video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not financial or investment advice. Always do your own research and consult a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions. The content shared here reflects personal opinions, not professional recommendations. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more finance updates.